Wait, you don't see yourself paying upwards of $100 for a pre-constructed deck just to buy yourself into the Eldrazi archetype? If you are interested in playing a colorless commander and you're not bound to a specific one, why not build Azlask the Swelling Scourge? You can build an Eldrazi center deck around this guy for less than $50. But first things first, what does he do? Azlask the Swelling Scourge is a 3-mana commander that says, whenever Azlask the Swelling Scourge or another colorless creature you control dies, you get an experience counter. Furthermore, you can pay Wuberg for creatures you control get +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of experience counters you have. Signs and spawns you control gain Indestructible and Annihilator 1 until end of turn. So in short, whenever something colorless dies, we get experience counters and we can buff everything we have by the number of experience counters we got. Plus, if it's signs and spawns, they become indestructible and get Annihilator 1. Not only is this guy absolutely crazy, he's also evil as can be. The Annihilator alone destroys entire boards as long as you attack with enough creatures. So the general idea is to generate a handful of Eldrazi spawns or signs, sacrifice them for Azlask to see, rack up that experience, get new signs and spawns, use Azlask's activated ability and go to town with now extremely powerful and numerous creatures. The deck consists mainly of Eldrazi's that create more Eldrazi's, like Emrakul's Hatcher. Since we pay attention to our budget, we need to use cheap ones, but since most of those are either common or uncommon, they are actually incredibly cheap. Just to name a few, here are Rapacious One, Kozilek's Predator and Writhing Chrysalis for the commons of this deck. They all do the same, they create tokens for us to sacrifice or attack with. Our uncommons do the same. Say hello to cards like Skittering Invasion, Brood Monitor and Spawn Gang Commander. Again, they all do the same, just in a different way. Our cards are so samey that I kind of feel like it's a sliver deck of sorts. Once we get strong enough, people will throw board wipes left and right to destroy our creatures, and they'll try to kill our commander as if their life depends on it. Which it does, yes, but still we need to be able to get our creatures back. So we rock a solid recursion package. Artisan of Kozilek returns a creature from the graveyard to the battlefield, Victimize gets us 2 creatures back tapped, and Marin of Clan Nel Toth gets us a creature once per hour end step. At one point it might even be necessary to let your commander go to the graveyard, as the commander tax will be stacked up so high that we cannot pay it anymore. Of course, we are in green and we create creature tokens that give us mana when sacrificed, but it may be more efficient to raise the Draugr Azlask for 2 to play him for 3, instead of paying like, I don't know, 13 mana to get him out of the command zone for the 5th time. There's actually very few standout cards here, but still there's room for some noteworthy cards in this deck. Let's start with Ulalek Fused Atrocity. Yes, we added the face Eldrazi of Eldrazi Incursion to have a trusty sidekick for our commander, and Ulalek does not disappoint. Whenever we cast an Eldrazi spell, we may pay 2 colorless, and if we do, we can double up on our Eldrazi spells, and while Ulalek does not work with all of our cards, he works with enough of them to be worth including. Next up is Hideous Taskmaster. He reads that whenever we cast the spell, we obtain control of 1 creature per opponent until end of turn, they get Trample, Haste and Annihilator 1 until end of turn. Together with Taskmaster, we get essentially Annihilate 4 with Haste, in addition to a truckload of additional combat damage. This guy is strong when you want to close the game, but he's even stronger if you're slightly behind, as you can go for the strongest player and completely change the power balance with this card. Azlask is an easy S tier commander even on a tight budget. If you get a proper attack through with a decently filled board, you easily take a player down, and even if you do not, going in with multiple Annihilator creatures repeatedly will reap havoc left and right. However, we do one thing and one thing only, and if we get continuously interrupted, we may fail to kill before we get killed. And since Azlask likes killing a lot more than getting killed, be ready to get repeatedly focused by your entire playgroup as they try to stop you before you straight up end their entire existence. The guy's crazy fun, and if you want to kill those expensive Eldrazi precons with your own Eldrazi commander that costs less than half, Azlask might be right for you. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time.